Top 5 decks of January 2021. Well, that's rough. New year, new metagame, right? Guys, make sure you show some love. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more updates on these cool things. We're also going to do a top 5 rogue and a top 5 budget decks for everybody as well over the next couple days, because I'm constantly requested to do budget decks because I guess everybody's sick of hearing Simo do it. So I'll do it for you guys. Alright, so show some love, make sure you subscribe, and let's dig on into the top 5 decks of January 2021, shall we? Number 1 on our list here is, have you read Miscellaneousarosaurus? Oh my god, this joke is getting so old at this point in time. Alright? At this point in time, I didn't even want to put dinosaurs on this list. When I looked at the rest of the metagame, I was like, honestly, like, Dinosaur is the only other deck that really has a competitive chance in the format. So, what do dinosaurs do that makes them relevant in today's metagame? Ultimate Conductor, Miscellaneousarosaurus. You have this toolbox engine. Your entire game plan is to basically take down boards. If your opponent puts a pretty big field up, doesn't have any negates that will hinder your dinosaur strategy, or Miscellaneousarosaurus will carry you through, you can break the board and go. If you're going first, Conductor plus Logia or Dolka, your deck can lose to an Ash Blossom if timed on the Miscellaneousarosaurus banish. Downside is you lose to Lancia. But with that all being said, though, your deck is great at tearing through boards. I think in terms of the metagame for what you want to do, you are probably the most consistent smasher of worlds. And because Miscellaneousarosaurus exists, you basically deny basic interaction in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Man, isn't it great having a card that literally says, haha, my opponent can't respond to my card effects. Hope you enjoy not playing the game, Duelist. And at the end of the day, like, that's the thing that makes this deck good is, hi, Misk. I'm so glad you didn't get banned on this list. So glad I still have to continue to deal with dinos. But the deck's kind of taken a step back, this format's gotten a little bit more aggressive. It doesn't really shock me all that much, but Lancia is definitely there to anger you. Next up is going to be a long segment on Eldritch. So we're going... I need to have this long dedicated area here for Eldritch, because Eldritch is turned into this... we got like so many variants of this running around right now. It's actually nuts. So first Eldritch variant is Eldritch Zodiac. Now you guys have seen that this deck has basically been clowning around a little bit as the go-to by a lot of players. You basically use this engine as a means to, well, one-card starters, the Zodiac combo, and then Eldritch combo it up, play through the opponent's board. Well, that's great. I don't have to deal with anything that my opponent does. Well, that's good. You also have Eldritch Zodiac Dogmatica, which is kind of taken a little bit more of a back seat in this current metagame. While the deck is still incredibly, I guess, good, it just, you kind of stripped away the Dogmatica package out of the deck, and we pretty much just started playing the Zodiac Eldritch portion of the deck. So there's that. And then you have Ryan Ortiz over here, Cody Angeloff, and whatnot. We're all playing the Evil Twin Eldritch deck. Now, this one's not like super high on the tier list, but the cool thing was, you basically, for the Evil Twin engine in the deck, you have a little bit more plays that you can make turn one. You also can set up the Lila in case you kill combo to interrupt on the opponent's turn. You have some much easier link climbing potential with this build, which is kind of a cool thing. I mean, you're still doing the same thing you were doing with Eldritch, which is Golden Lord, go burr. Alright, but outside of that, that's probably the weaker of the versions. And then we have the other big boy in the room. It's pretty much became the big go-to at this point. It's basically been Dragoon Eldritch. Dragoon Eldritch has... I definitely have seen this deck gain a lot more popularity in comparison to the other variants. Having the ability to put the Dragoon on the field with the toolbox that Eldritch already presents to you probably has put this version by far ahead of the rest of the variants. I guess I need to give an honorable mention to Eldritch Numeron, of course. You guys have remember seeing that, right? Like, Numeron Eldritch has definitely taken a seat back from the rest of the variants. I still think that this particular engine in the deck is still good, in my opinion, but in terms of development for Eldritch right now, I think the hierarchy goes the Dragoon package with Eldritch is going to be the best thing, hands down, and then you kind of just trickle down on the skill tree from there. The question you have to ask yourself is, alright, so with the basic Eldritch package, what do I want the deck to do? Do I want to Numeron, stun the opponent? Do I want to have access to the simple Zodiac engine to pressure the opponent and have easier breaking boards? Do I want to play, the Live Twins engine for the ability to combo interrupt through the opponent's turn? Or you can even play, I remember seeing some earlier builds that was Invoked Eldritch, which we kind of saw last format, but that particular build has definitely fallen off a little bit. So at this point in time, Eldritch. I'm letting Eldritch take up 2 spots here because it does have 2 very good variants at the top. Next up here is Virtual World. So, what really has happened to Virtual Worlds? Virtual World definitely fell from the pedestal of being the absolute best deck. Now, for consistency's sake here, Virtual World still has the biggest issue in the room, and it is consistency. The deck still loses to itself. Alright, and I don't know how you guys still don't understand that if you're playing Virtual World, you're playing against yourself. Consistency is your biggest thing. The best thing that this deck can do is put Choo Choo on the field and start interrupting with True King of All Calamities. I think your best boards, you can set up double True King of All Calamities. Your worst field is end on like Krokazor Pass. Alright, like, you do have some really big issues with the deck. And it might be the amount of hand traps the players have kind of started to play in this deck that might be bogging down the strategy. I don't particularly think that that's really the case, although actually it is. Adding more basically anti-metagame cards to assist you in playing against the overall cesspool of the metagame really shouldn't surprise anybody at this point in time. So, your greatest weakness? Yourself. Alright? If you can get your deck to cooperate with you and you don't see those brick hands, you're going to have a really good time, because that pile of cards, when it goes off, it is absolutely consistent in what it does. And getting interrupted on a Lulu or something can mean death for you, unfortunately. Also, cheers everybody to your desires banishing all of your good cards. The amount of times I've seen players lose with this deck with a bad desires, it's actually absurd. But deck is still very good for consistent purposes. And then the best deck in the room, let's give it up for Drytron. Yay! Drytron has definitely gained the boost right now. So, standard Ritual Toolbox, Ben 10s and Natashas, Herald of Ultimateness. You're basically able to kind of combo through in a toolbox means of having access to level 1 monsters. And then you get to Ritual Summon through attack points, and then you get to win with cards like this. Alright, do not underestimate what resolving 2 to 3 Ben 10s in a turn. Natasha's a stupid card, alright? Like, I don't think a lot of people have actually read Natasha or understand what she does. Like, all jokes aside, Misk is a busted card, but Natasha does crazy things, right? Also, you have access to Zeus, access Code Machine. Your deck is just on a whole nother level of consistent. Alright, Cyberattack impacts kind of round through your deck, but you smash through, you break these boards with your armada of ritual monsters. And a lot of players just don't have the ability or the comprehension to beat this deck. Hey, you want to beat the deck? Cycle Reader it on up, baby. Alright, good times. I don't think people realize this yet, but Cycle Reader's a pretty good card against the deck. So, outside of that, yeah, Rituals, Tier 1 in 2021. Huh. What an interesting time to be alive. So these are the top 5 decks for January 2021, guys. Please leave a comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces later on in the day for some more cool content. And remember, Rogue and Budget coming soon. Peace out, guys. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCall40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCall40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcallgames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.